Let us keep this civilized.
Hey everyone, Damiani here, joined by Huber.
Yo!
Here to talk about a recently announced game. Just got announced today.
Nice.
Got to get a little behind the scenes, hands-off preview of it recently for a game called Moonbreaker. This is from the developers of the Subnautica games.
Nice.
Yeah, this is what it's been in development for 5 years.
Wow,
Huber.
that's no
They
joke.
were big Warhammer and tabletop D&D fans.
Excellent.
And this is like a passion project that they were putting together that
I
they
love
wanted to
hearing
bring
that.
this. And I gotta say, like, when I heard, so here's the thing, let me back up really quick before we
Yeah.
get into the details of this. This was pitched to me by Bloodworth, and then, like, these previews, it's like turn-based sci-fi RPG, and I'm like, dude, like sci-fi RPG? Yo, let's go.
Yeah.
And then, like, when they open the presentation, I see the first image, and they say Warhammer, I'm like, and it's like tabletop, I'm like, was I the right person for this?
Yeah, you
But,
weren't
like,
expecting it.
I will say though, there's a lot about this game that may necessarily be like the gameplay itself, but the nature of like tabletop and miniatures, the essence that they're capturing in this game, they sold that element of it very well.
Nice.
Because it's hands off, can't tell you how it feels to play it,
course.
but I can give you some details.
Yeah.
So it is a PvP focused, turn-based. Tabletop tactical RPG.
Wild.
Looked like Warhammer meets like XCOM.
Very cool.
And it's like you playing it on a tabletop style board, where you have two teams. You set up a crew. So you pick a captain, and these captains come from with these backstories about them, and they have like specialties where they're like more of like a healer. There's different classes like there's,
Bounty hunter or
range.
something.
There's melee. There's healer units, and then you set up a crew of 10 other units around your captain. So a team of 11, a captain and 10 members, and that's how you put together your squad.
It's a big time squad
to go against other players' squads. Now there's PvP. There's player versus bot if you just want to practice.
Cool.
And then there is a single player mode called Cargo Run. It's a roguelite solo mode.
Yo.
They emphasize that this mode is more for veterans who are a little bit more familiar with the game. It's not something you want to
Whoa.
Yeah, you don't want to cut your teeth on this. This is something you work up to. Because
You don't really hear that often. PvP is usually, you do a single player to get ready for the PvP, learn all the mechanics and
Exactly.
everything.
So I was very intrigued by that.
That's cool.
But yeah, let me get into some of this. So when you're picking your crew, you can pick the individual team members, but there's also an autofill option. So like if you just feel like you just want to get into a match,
Nice.
even if you pick part of your team, it'll autofill based on your preference that you picked already, and pick competent teams based on your partially filled squadrons already. So
Choose a couple of your favorites.
whether that's
and
balanced or
then-
not, because we didn't get to play it, I have no idea. But
Yeah.
they are kind of touting that. Yeah, you can create your own team crest. They're really want you to feel like you own this team, have some personality behind it.
Nice.
And each unit has individual ranks. And you, because how this game is going to be structured, it's kind of like there's seasons. So this battle pass thing where the units can rank up, get new cosmetics,
Cool.
and you can unlock new things for your teams as well.
I like the idea of long-term progression with your individual units. That's a nice way to get more attached to them.
Exactly, and
That's cool.
there are quite a bit of units they had, and it wasn't even everything that was going to be in the final version, apparently. So the board is like a 3D, kind of isometric tabletop view. You can zoom in and out on spots to get a better look. Everything looks like it's made out of real life materials. There's a map with waterfall in the background, but nothing's animated. It's all still. It's a tabletop, so the water's resin. It's just resin cast, so that it looks
cool.
like waterfall, going down. So that was pretty cool. You start each match by dropping your captain in a random on a spot on the map. So
Nice.
so you play yours, then the other team plays theirs based on who it picks to go first, and then you go from there. You get each team gets 3 pairs of ship assist. So you're dropping from a ship in orbit onto these moons. This is why it's called Moonbreaker real quick. It's because you're fighting for these resources on these moons in this region of space, and when you've mined them too much, they break apart. So you're literally destroying these moons to get their resources, dude.
Unobtainium.
Yeah, unobtainium. Like, upset the natives, man. They're to come and revolt against you. You better be careful there.
We're the bad guys.
Yeah, we are the bad guys in this for sure. Absolutely for sure. The resource is called Cinder, by the way, but it's also what you use in the matches to call in units and call in ship assist. The examples they gave were basically like orbital strike, like a big AoE, or healing units, like stuff like that. And there's a whole bunch of other ones.
Top 10 orbital strikes.
Now, a thing that they emphasize is you can't use a unit on the same turn you summoned it. As you bring in new units,
summoning sickness.
And literally, they said stunned with summoning sickness.
Heck yes.
However, there are some units that have an ability to negate summoning sickness.
Ooh, little perks.
Yeah, and they actually described like one of two different strats you could do in a match of like some basic things. Top right shows opponent ship assist. There'll be question marks at first till they reveal what they are, till they use them. But once you see them, you know what they can play, so you could be on the watch out for that.
Dang.
And then
is there another way to scout anything out, Damiani, or is it more of just encounter them?
You got to encounter them, as far as I understood. The bottom bar shows your Cinder. These are these red gems. Caps at 4. I think it's like spend 1 to summon in a unit. So if you ever have 3, you don't want to if you're 3 or 4, you think sometimes you can earn 2. You don't want to be capped when you end a turn. You want to spend enough because you only generate 1 each turn. If you generate 1 while you're already capped, you're wasting that, bud.
Yeah, spend it all.
Yeah, like how many games have you played like you're sitting on resources you didn't use and you're like, oh man,
it's the worst.
Yeah.
Cascading failures when you start misusing resources, you know, it's just like
yeah. Or then you like burn too much to to compensate for that. And you're like, oh crap, man. And then HP bars above everyone's head, little like slither bars or whatever, kind of like standard if you played like XCOM or any like even Fire Emblem, like it looks literally like that. On the board there are objects to hide behind. That provide cover. There's 3 different types. They're categorized as 3 different types of things. There's a soft cover, which blocks movement and reduces accuracy, but range units can shoot through it. So melee units, it provides you coverage from melee units.
So a sniper can.
But they can get around. Then there's impassable cover, reduces some accuracy, but no one can move across it. So you still can be shot, but like a melee is not getting to you on a turn to it. And then there's a hard cover, which straight up blocks line of sight. Nice. So like no one's gonna be able to shoot you,
hidden,
but like someone can still come around and melee you potentially. So obviously, when you come up to one, it'll inform you like what type of cover you're getting. But like, there's also lines that come from the enemies that'll let you know that you're still in their line of sight. They can still take action against you. Is there high ground or other types of terrain? I think there's other types of terrain, and they look like they were like maybe ramps, but I don't think it was like drastic height as far as I could understand from the limited amount of footage they showed and screens they showed us. But I mean, think of tabletop games and stuff like the geography does matter a little bit, but I don't think there's going to be a thing where you go up like a building and just like stay up there and something like that. So the arrows, I mean, this is pretty standard. Like red arrows, lines show enemies that have line of sight on you, can attack you after you move, and then a pink line. There's an ability called Plink. Which is a ship assist to restore 1 health to 1 unit or 1 damage to an enemy that like every unit has as well. So those are kind of like the basics. Important thing, Huber. Units do not animate when they move on board. Now, like they shake or whatever, but like there's no like character animations. They're like little board game pieces that you move. And that's the extent of it. There's like little like maybe particle effects or whatever going around them, but like otherwise, it's supposed to replicate like a D&D match. Yeah.
Would probably look really awesome animated, but at the same time, saving a ton of money, I'm sure, in development, and also it captures the spirit of tabletop. It's like you're actually staring at a board of pieces, which is cool.
This is what they dove into right after this to highlight, like, don't be freaked out yet, because we do have something covered for you. You can pick up units to observe them closer, because paint schemes, the nature of painting miniatures and painting, they wanted to capture that in a digital form for this game. There's a huge aspect of this game is taking your units, and they have the default paint schemes for them, which were done by veteran Warhammer miniature painters. So that's the default one.
Yeah.
But they're giving you a full, complete toolkit of
To paint your own?
To paint your own.
There
if you want.
it
And they did show that in
is.
action, like
Very
airbrushing
cool.
and like going over like it's not layers
That's
like
amazing.
Photoshop,
That
but
is
like
amazing.
you can pick objects on the unit and it'll only color that with the paint. But then like you can like go over it and like add like darker shades, add some like shading to like make it like rusted like a gun,
So
like it's
cool.
been used. You can take the paints and mix them on the mixing corner, so like to create your own colors if you don't like the colors that are there by default. And different paints will be unlocked as you play the game as well, and as you progress. Various paint sets available, and then it's called auto masking available to paint certain parts of models, but no layering, and can mix paints to create custom paint colors. And yeah, you can use all the same effects you'd use in a miniature painting. So they wanted to bypass that kind of like barrier to entry of the cost. I mean, the mechanical skill of using your hands.
Yeah.
By like, let's digitize this and
So
capture
cool.
that. And that was pretty cool. I think it's like anything that's like a creative thing usually
Yeah.
can like draw in like a certain crowd of people.
Yeah.
I see people have no interest in like maybe even playing the game, but like want to create their own to share with people.
Yeah.
Their own versions of these units. I can see a community getting behind that.
Yeah, big time. Streaming that, just like that sounds soothing, right? Like a Gundam stream that, Brad and Ben always used to rock, but like,
Yeah.
yo, just paint these.
Like yeah,
Paint these figures. That sounds so
I think
chill.
it's gonna be very chill streams about that.
Yeah.
So let's get last thing about the format, the structure of matches. And in PvP, there is a turn timer. So when you're going against a player, you got a little bit of pressure.
Okay.
But when you start in the player versus AI, the bots, there is no timer. So
Nice.
that really is like they're stressing that's like the tutorial.
Okay.
Learn
So
how
you
to
play
play.
versus the bots to train, then you graduate, you play the humans,
Yeah.
and then there's like this
Cargo run is like if you want a really
Okay.
cool challenge to test your knowledge of units specifically.
Very cool.
Typical matches they say will last around 15-20 minutes.
That seems
but
good.
They can last longer.
Okay.
But they're not going to last for hours like traditional tabletop.
Great,
So they
great.
did not. They wanted to cut back on that a
Great.
little bit to make it a little bit more accessible.
It's always one of the scariest things with MOBAs. I've been out of the MOBA game for a few years now, many years now, but I've played a lot over the years. And it's like when your team is down
Yeah.
pretty early on, it's like, dude, like to come back from this is going to be like 1 in 100, but it's like, yo, we still got like 40 minutes in this match that we're going to
Hate that.
lose.
Yeah.
So
it's got to be so frustrating.
yeah. So 15 to 20 minute matches seems promising.
Now, cargo run, this roguelite mode.
Yeah.
You get to pick one captain and 5 units. So smaller squads going in.
I like it.
Cargo drop throughout the run. You need to collect the cargo that drops on the map to recruit more units or gain new abilities. However, this map has permadeath. Units that are gone for good. So like there's you collect the cargo on a map, you move to a new map.
Got it.
But if you lost someone on that, you're down to like 1 captain and 4 members now.
Got it.
Additionally, your health persists between rounds.
So sick.
Yeah, but winning a round will heal you up a small amount.
Nice.
Only you can pick up cargo, enemies can't. Mode is meant to be challenging. They even said there's some points where you might want to like just opt to forgo the cargo, ditch it, and move on to the next area because it's like the enemies that are guarding it are too strong. You don't want to take them on. Like it's not a good situation. Yeah.
Did they talk about the rogue light progression?
No.
Like-
Well, they said the supply things are like you get new abilities and you get new units from them. But like anything beyond that, they didn't say anything about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those cargo things you pick up, is that permanent for that specific run?
That run.
Okay.
It's for that run. That's how you get like I'm
it.
imagining your units
Got it.
will get special abilities.
Okay.
And then like
Maybe those carry over from run to run, the abilities? Does anything carry over from run to
I
run?
don't think anything carries over from run to
Okay.
run. I could be wrong, but like from how they were describing it, it's like you mess up the run and like it's over. It's like try again. Like maybe pick a different team or something. Yeah. So remember I was talking about the units. So
Yeah.
I'll give you some details about the units real quick as we're almost done with this. The captains, the 3 captains, one's named Astra, very vulnerable but quick at summoning and can reduce cost of all units. So this is
Love
the
those
strats.
abilities.
So
Love that.
good for bringing units quickly to overwhelm opponents. So if you want to do a
Yeah.
Zerg strat, you're gonna probably start with Astra. Now Extilior, Extilior. Good at damage and shielding, very defensive, and great at attacking if you can get them in range. So low mobility, but like if you do that setup where they get in range, it's like you're gonna roll. The last one they talked about, didn't really see much of them, was Zax, a smuggler, a ranged unit. They died and their AI got like uploaded, so they're generating their body as a hologram because they lost their body in an accident. So there's a lot of lore behind these characters too. They come from like different regions of space, different cultures. They stress they want you to get like these units are going to reflect these cultures.
That's
and
awesome.
you get to know this like world building in there as well. Because
everything sounds so thought out and promising. I really like everything I've heard here, Damiani.
They showed off there's going to be over 50 units available at early access, along with 50 units plus the 3 captains.
That was my next
53
question.
53 total.
53, but there's only 3 captains.
Yeah, only 3 captains. More will be added each season.
And you have to have a captain.
You have to have one. So you got to pick one of these 3.
So chances are, if you're playing PvP, it could be like same captain versus same captain initially when there's 3. But then all your unit composition is dramatically different.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's going to be audio dramas to convey the narrative. So
within the game,
or
like separate
in the game, there's gonna be like, I guess you earn them, unlock them, audio dramas, so that you can like learn more about the characters and more about this region of space. Again,
I played Apex Legends for the first time in like 2 years, Damiani, and I saw that they had they have something similar where it's like you unlock little narrative conversations, and I love that. You know, it doesn't need to necessarily be some story-driven game to have easy ways to convey the ongoing story. You know what I'm saying? So I like that.
Yeah.
And did it say how you unlock any of that stuff or any of the audio dramas, or if that's a battle pass seasonal type thing? Or
it wasn't. I think I don't think it. I'm not sure. They didn't like say, or if that tidbit was in there, I did technically miss it.
Cool.
So about seasons, the last thing here, the seasons. A season will last about 4 months.
Cool.
That's the time frame for it. A new captain will be added every single season.
Every season.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
All modes give you experience that can move you along the season track. So whether you do PvP versus AI,
Love hearing that.
Or people, or do cargo run. New banners, paints, booster boxes, and poses for units, etc. will be a part of the season track rewards. All currency will be in-game. Win or lose, you earn currency.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Everything sounds good.
The business model is still being determined.
Okay.
But the game is releasing in early access on September 29th, and it will be paid at that point.
Okay.
So during early access, it'll be a paid game.
Got it.
No price point given yet. So it will be paid.
So you buy in initially early access, but maybe later on it'll switch
it does change to something else. We don't know yet. It is coming to Steam, PC, and Mac. So it is PC only. Again, developed by Unknown Worlds, published by Krafton. Again, September 29th, early access begins. And it's a turn-based strategy tabletop tactics game.
Love that.
Yeah, and they're again emphasizing that true digital miniature game experience. Again, I'm not really a person who's terribly into these types of games.
Yeah.
But like the nature of like the miniatures, like because it seems like such a costly, time-intensive like hobby to have.
For sure.
To have it competent, like card games. Think about how long it took for card games to become pretty good, like in game and online form. And now like there are some pretty good ones, there's some pretty awful ones. Like something that's more complicated like this, Yeah, I haven't actually got to try it, so but from what they showed, it did look good, and it was the one part they were like, spent a lot of time on, and we're showing like real-time footage, a lot of real-time footage of it, so I think they're pretty proud and confident in it.
Damiani, I love so much when people are so passionate about a vision they have, and they make the game. They're like, we want to play this, so we're gonna make it. Like, you're talking about a passion project and just how they come from Warhammer backgrounds and everything. It's just like, you know, sometimes you want a video game and it's like, well, no one's going to make that because no one's passionate about that specific thing. And it's like, here we are, a group of devs, passionate about this project.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
Well, thanks, Huber. And again, Moonbreaker coming to PC, Steam, and Mac September 29th, early access. So if you want to check it out then, take a look. Thanks, everyone.